Hi, welcome to Talkin Business. I'm Joe Catrambone, CEO of the Stewart Martin County Chamber of Commerce, and it's my pleasure here to welcome Ed McKenna, who, now this is an entrepreneur. Uh, Obviously, we have 1,500 members, and each of them are entrepreneurs, but very few people. Ed owns at least five, if not six or seven businesses. So I don't know how I don't know how he keeps up with it. You look sane,
Yeah,
you look like you're
depends on who you ask.
yeah, well, that's just my problem too. So welcome, Ed, and obviously
Thank
we're
you.
delighted to have you as a chamber member.
Excellent.
Um, but I like to do this before we get into to your business.
Mhm.
How did you end up in Martin County, Stewart, Florida? What brought you there? How did you end up there?
All right, so 20 years ago, 20 plus years ago, I should say, my wife and I, our kids were at an age where we've always went to Florida, traveled in Florida, had some family down here in Florida, and we're like, either we do it before the kids are in school, when they're done. So we're like, let's do it now. And we moved down here, and we never looked back. We moved from Massachusetts, and just the area. We love the area. It's a beautiful area. We would come down, visit family.
So but you had family here. That's what because
Yeah.
Stewart's a little speck on the map.
Yeah,
How
it
did
is. It
you
is.
know?
Exactly. I was Stewart. Where's that? Yeah, you get
Exactly.
that. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. We get that a lot. But yeah, that's basically it. And never look back.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
love
Well,
it here.
it's a great place. I
Yeah.
couldn't imagine living anywhere else.
No.
I've been here. I've been in Florida since '68, but I've been in Martin County since '89.
Right.
And like I said, I can't imagine living anywhere else. So I noticed you're a one-stop shop in the construction business.
Yes,
You're
absolutely.
you've got a contractor's license, you've got a roofing license.
Yes.
So your business is Ridge Cap Roofing, Stormtroopers, Home Improvement, those kitchen and guys in granite,
Mhm.
my Florida New Homes. Now, is it Florida New Homes? Is that a real estate operation or is that actually a new homes development?
New homes. It's my Florida new homes. Where we build new homes, new custom homes.
Okay. And then coastal family gutters. So you got everything covered.
Yeah.
It was you have one
We
stop
try.
shop.
We try.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Now
But
what?
I'm sorry. We do have a showroom as well, so people can come and take a look at our stuff and pick stuff out.
No, that's great. Now, so they're all related businesses.
Mhm. Correct.
Tell me about the barbecue. What's that about?
Oh, the barbecue. So you want some good food? It's actually my business partner Paul. He started beer and barbecue company in Jensen Beach, that right, and great food. I think it's been like 3 months ago he started, and it's just taken off. I mean, when you have good food like that, people just show up and they
It's
talk
in
and talk.
Jensen?
Yeah, yep.
Where?
If you go down Jensen Beach Boulevard where the Publix Plaza is,
On the right-hand side.
on the right-hand side,
Yeah,
in
yeah.
that plaza.
So that's oh really? Yeah,
Yes.
that's a
I think the old Ocean Breeze, it was there.
okay.
Right there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll have to give it a try. I love
Oh, it's
barbecue.
delicious food.
So
Absolutely.
so you've got a roofing company in South Carolina?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. And now you're looking to expand to North Carolina. Is
Correct,
that with the
absolutely.
roofing business or with a
Just
barbecue or
with the roofing business. With the roofing business.
so okay, so you're concentrating in the building and trades
Yes.
industry rather
Exactly.
than the food and
Exactly.
beverage.
Exactly. Yeah. Paul's got the food and beverage down pat. Absolutely.
What do you where did you have a business somewhere else before?
Yes. When I moved, I'm a second generation contractor, so I moved down here 20 plus years ago, and I grew up in the construction industry. So my father, what we would do, buy land in the raw, clear the trees out. We would put the septic systems in. So I did everything from clearing the trees to when the house gets built and sold, cleaning the windows when it was done.
Where was that?
That was in Massachusetts and New Hampshire,
Oh,
up in
okay.
up north.
Up in the
Yeah, New
Northeast,
England, yeah,
yeah.
New England area.
Yeah.
And then my father passed away when I was 24, and then I, just started working for myself basically after he had passed.
And you just I mean, that's quite a difference coming from the Northeast. Where I'm from the Northeast,
Yeah.
and I know. Of course, I just got when I got out of college, I moved to Florida, so I really didn't have a lot of work experience in the Northeast.
Right.
Although I did work summers and things of that nature,
yeah.
but most of my experience was in Florida.
Right. It's definitely a different ball game. People joke around. Oh, they say that's not how we did it up north.
Oh, I don't
For
ever
for
say
me, I'm like, don't say
Oh,
that because
please, yeah.
I'm like, no, you're right because it's not because it's a total different. Everything
Yeah.
with sticks and bricks, wood framing and all that up north, and most of it down here in this area we're in is all block, and it's a different. Everything's just done different.
Did you notice a huge difference? I know there's a difference if, for instance, the permitting process up north as compared to here. The requirements and things of that nature that are put upon you, the requirements that you have to do as compared to things. I don't know what if
Yeah.
the requirements in the Northeast.
There's-
Were they more stringent in Florida?
I think they're stringent across the board. The building departments that we've always dealt with, I'm a fan of building departments because that's what helps hold contractors liable, accountable, I should say, making sure everything's done right. The only difference is up north you have snow loads, weight coming down.
Oh yeah.
Down here in Florida, it's uplift, right? Wind loads, ripping stuff up. So that's pretty much the only difference.
Exact opposites.
Yeah, exact opposites.
Yeah,
Exactly,
yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. Do you, well, and the hardest probably, I don't say it was hard, but the most curious thing to me when I moved to Florida, again, I was young, but there were no basements.
I know.
And I
Yes,
didn't
yeah.
get that. you
Yes,
know?
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Where does all your stuff, well, all that stuff in your basement, where does it go?
Yeah, and
right?
even, and I grew up in the city, so we had a basement and an attic.
Yes, exactly. Yep. We had to see. We had a walk-up attic.
We actually had a bedroom up in our attic.
Yep.
So,
Yes,
yeah, so
absolutely.
there
That
was
was
such a-
definitely a curve, right? A curve.
Oh yeah. Well, and obviously, I'm just assuming that the cost has to be much less to build a home in Florida than it does up north. Same home.
It's been a little over 20 years, but when I moved down here originally 20 years ago, because we were doing the new construction, when I moved down here, I mostly was doing renovation from hurricane damage in 2005. But I think nowadays, right now, the square footage price is probably about the same.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. Even without
A basement. Yeah.
do you ever, is it possible to do a basement in Florida? I mean, could you
There-
waterproof probably would depend on
With,
your
with, yeah,
elevation.
with the
and-
water table, where the water table is here, you dig down 3 or 4 feet, and you have water.
Yeah.
So it's not a good idea. Could you? I'm sure, absolutely, and there's a
Yeah.
way to do it. But for liability reasons, as a builder, you wouldn't want to do it. Absolutely not. I mean, up north, northern Florida, there's some basements up northern Florida, but far and few between.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. What's your typical? What's the typical? Do you have people come to you and ask you to build a home, or do you just sell your homes that you
We have people come to us
and
ask
you
us to
build a
build.
house from
Yeah.
the bottom up?
Exactly. We have 5 sets of plans they can choose from. We probably have about 100, but we
Okay,
have
so they're-
five priced out that would say, hey, listen, these are our 5 plans that we have. And then if they want to do a custom home, they get our plans and we bid out the custom
Okay,
homes.
okay. That's so you, and I don't mean this to be as a detriment, but you have cookie cutters type.
Yeah,
homes,
absolutely.
right?
Yes, absolutely.
But you will build a custom home.
Absolutely. Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you get much requests for that, or is most of your?
For us, yes, because we're not the big cookie cutter contractors, right? With the big, so for us, it's it's a lot here or a lot there, and the customer usually wants. That's why they come to us, because it's a little more custom. The houses that we sell, usually, the ones that we have, the cookie cutter house we have, they usually look at them and say, hey, can we change this? Can we change this? And we do that.
Because
you
so
know?
you can customize it
Yes,
a little bit.
exactly,
So what are you have 5 different models. Do they vary in square footage?
Yes, the smallest one is about 1,200 up to 2,400 square
Oh,
feet.
that's a good
Yeah.
sized house. That's what, a
Yeah.
3 bedroom?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you do pools?
We don't do pools. No,
Okay.
we don't do pools.
Do you
But
get,
maybe that's another business I could start. What do you think?
yeah, what the heck, why not? What's another one? I think that might, I think they're headaches.
Yes, yeah,
No?
absolutely.
Yeah. What what typically, women are mostly interested in kitchens, correct?
Kitchens,
And
bathrooms,
right?
absolutely, absolutely.
And that's probably, they're your obviously the highest cost.
Yes, absolutely.
yeah.
They're fit for the finishes, kitchen, bathrooms, and I see like the back porches and lanais. I see that with the women a lot interested in, and their closets.
Oh, yeah.
No basement, so they want the big
Yeah,
closets, you know.
yeah.
So, and pantries, you know, it's
Yeah, place for storage.
Place for storage,
Yeah,
exactly,
yeah.
exactly. You know, that's I see a lot of when we're doing the custom homes. That's what I see a lot of.
So, do you build custom cabinets, or do you have cookie cutter cabinets that you put in place?
We can do both. We
Okay.
can do both.
So if someone wants to come in and if someone wants to build a house, they can come in to your showroom, take a look at your house, take a look at the kitchens, choose which kitchen they like.
Yep.
So you can put from a kitchen from house A, you can take that kitchen and put it in house C if they want to.
Exactly. And
so-
we have in-house. We have 2 designers that we keep
Oh,
on
you
staff
do?
full time
Oh, that's good.
at our showroom. So, yeah, that definitely helps.
Do you have crews, or do you subcontract?
We do both. You know, we do both because you get to a point where you get busy enough that sometimes your crews just aren't enough help. So you know, will sub out our drywall, or we'll, you know, of course the plumbing, electrical, and air conditioning, they need their separate licenses, so we sub that out. But we try to do as much as we can in-house.
Oh yeah, I didn't think about that. So you don't do electrical.
We do it through our subs.
Right,
So yeah,
right,
but we
yeah.
don't. I'm not a licensed contract. I
Right.
mean, I'm not a licensed electrician,
Electrician,
plumbing, or
right.
AC. So we sub that stuff out.
What's the most unusual request you've had for someone that to do in a house?
Oh my gosh, that's the most unusual thing. Nothing's popping to mind, but I'm sure there's something. That's a good question. That is a good
Because
question.
you know, women,
Yeah.
they have their mindset.
Yeah.
This is their forever home
Yeah.
in most instances.
Yep.
And they want it to be just right. You know, I know, I certainly their focus is the kitchen.
So what I would
I
say,
think.
I don't want to know if it's unusual, but what we're starting to have people request is a hidden pantry. So what that is so you know how you have in your kitchen, you'll have your kitchen, your refrigerator, and then next to that will be like a tall pantry. You open
That's
up
what
and all
I
your
have.
stuff is,
I
right?
have a refrigerator
Yep.
here, and I'm right next to there's 2 doors, and there's
Yeah,
a pantry.
So what's happening now is when you open up that pantry, you actually walk into the pantry and into another room. So it's a hidden pantry.
Oh,
So
I see what you're saying.
So I'm going
This
to
is actually another room.
It's actually another room that's hidden, right? And that's your
Yeah.
pantry. So people
Yeah,
don't
and that's
see.
great for storage too.
Absolutely, absolutely.
You know, in Florida, more than I think up north, from my experiences, people seem to buy more
Yeah.
and need more storage room. They seem to buy more groceries. Like,
Yeah.
it's probably the same up north now, but like Costco.
Yeah.
You go to Costco, you can't buy a can of something.
Right.
you know,
Exactly.
Or Sam's or whatever. So yeah, and that's a huge issue. I can imagine. I know and I have good storage space, but I know sometimes I have to put overage in the garage.
Yeah.
You know, and then what's
absolutely.
bad about that is because there's no air conditioning in the garage, so you have to be careful what you
What you
store
put
out
out
there.
there. Absolutely,
Because
absolutely.
I have a refrigerator in the garage and a chest freezer, a small chest freezer. Plus, I have a big 2-door refrigerator with freezer on one time, and it's just me.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
And but they're still full.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Of
Yeah.
course. Yeah. Well, I have 5 kids, so our
Oh,
fridges are
gosh.
always full.
You're-
You know.
yeah.
You know.
You have a lot of refrigerators too.
Yes, well, We're fortunate. Well, most of our kids are out of the house. The kids age are from 21 to 33. So our
Oh,
youngest,
yeah, okay.
she lives with us part time. Yeah, but everyone, all the other kids are pretty much out doing their thing.
So I don't remember. Are any of the kids in business with you or work with you?
My two nieces do. My sister does. My brother does.
But not the kids.
Not the kids. No, the kids aren't. No.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, yeah. Well, one of them is in Washington State. One of the girls is in Washington State. My other son is in Virginia.
Okay,
And
so
then,
they're not with you.
yeah, exactly. And three of them are local here.
And any of them working with you?
No,
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 they-
no, no. One of them
That's
works.
probably a good thing.
It is. It
Yeah,
is.
but you
Yeah.
would like one to maybe hang in there with you and
Yeah.
take over
I
for
would,
you.
I would like that. That would
Yeah.
be, a means to an end, right? Like, hey, listen,
Sure.
someday this is what's going to happen, and you can see it.
Yeah,
move
well,
on.
you're building a legacy.
Yeah.
And, and at least you've got family in there, your
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
nieces, or at least there's some
Yep.
an opportunity for the legacy to carry on.
Yeah.
That's-
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely.
How do you like the food business? Does that interest you, or is it?
For me, I like to eat the food, but Paul, my business partner Paul in Stormtroopers, he's a food guy. He knows how to cook. He knows his thing, and that's why he's got, I think, the best barbecue around, in my opinion. But I'm not too much of a cook. I like to eat it.
It's a tough business. My mother had a Italian restaurant, a pizza place,
Yeah.
and when I was in high school, I on Friday nights and Saturday nights, I made pizzas.
Yeah.
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 We are, and most of our business was a takeout business. But on a Friday night, we would make 500 pizzas.
Wow.
We'd have two of us making pizzas, just throwing them in the oven.
Nonstop.
Yeah, 500.
Dang,
You
that's
know,
a lot,
yeah. But it's a tough business.
Yeah.
It really
Oh,
is.
yeah, absolutely,
And your margins are,
Tight.
oh my gosh, yeah. The way and we didn't have a liquor license, but that's where you make money in the restaurant business with
Yeah.
your liquor.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Not on the food. Most times you're taking
Yes.
taking a hit on the
Yeah,
food. So,
yeah.
but barbecue's probably a little different than making big pots of sauce. My mother used to make, and that's strictly an Italian restaurant.
Yeah.
Well, we're winding down. Is there anything we missed that you'd like to talk about?
You know what? There's one thing I like to talk about is what we do for the communities and giving back.
Please, great.
We do a lot of work with Project Lift. I don't know if you've
Great
ever heard Project.
operation.
They're such
Absolutely.
a good guys.
Yes.
Actually, coming up, I forget the date. We just had a board meeting yesterday. They're going to have a little boat race where the guys are all going to build boats, and we're going to have a race right in Fort Pierce. So it's going to be
Really?
fun. Yeah, we're going to have the little boats about 3 feet by 5 feet, and we do a little race out in the water and come back. They build a boat, so that's going to be fun. I'll get the date and get it to you.
Yeah, we'll advertise it for you too.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And then another one, a big one I deal with is the Brittany Lee Foundation. And what that is my niece got killed 7 years ago in a horrible car accident, her and her best friend. And my sister started the Brittany Lee Foundation. So what we do with that is we give back to the community in means of, this year we did 2,000 Easter baskets. We built them.
Wow.
And getting them out to the community.
2,000?
2,000 Easter baskets. We gave, I think it was $10,000 to the fire department for kids. And then what else do we do? And then we help kids with food and shoes and all that kind of stuff too. But that's probably the biggest two that we like to work with. And then we work with Lahia, Love and Hope down in
Another great
Yeah,
organization.
they're great people. There's a few of them that we work with, and they're all just such good people. I wish I could remember all of them, but you know how it goes,
I
you know.
We were talking about that before. Remembering people's names.
Exactly.
Most people don't understand or realize what our business members, our businesses in the community give to the community.
Yeah.
They don't get it. But without our businesses participating in charitable organizations and donating, we wouldn't have any.
Yeah, absolutely.
And all of our members. It always impresses me when our members or how much they give to the community, and they don't want anything for it. They're not
No.
they're not
Yep.
looking for
Yep.
advertising or anything else.
Nope.
It's just that it's the thing that they tell me, and I get it, is that they live in the community and they want it to
Yeah.
be a good community and they want to be proud of the community.
Absolutely.
And they want to help make it that way.
Yep. And it's also a little bit of feel good too. You
Oh,
know, it's
no,
definitely
absolutely.
you feel good.
Especially if you have contact with them.
Absolutely, absolutely.
You know, that's as good as it gets.
Yeah, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Well, Ed,
I appreciate
thank you.
this. Thank
Yeah,
you. Thank you.
We have many members like you. Most of business people, as I said, we have close to 1,500 members. You all have the same mindset.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, which is a good thing. It's
Absolutely.
it's what makes Stewart and Morton County the place that it is.
I agree. I
Yeah.
agree. Absolutely.
Well, we thank you and appreciate
thank you. I
everything
appreciate
you
this.
do.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.